Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Man. It's Friday night here at Fishburner, and you can hear the noise behind us. So I think we still have about 40 or 50 people out there in the bar, and with a music blasting behind us. We just have our Ukraine startup pitch night tonight, and we are doing a fundraising event at Fishburner earlier, and so we are supporting My Pillar program. They are fundraising for counseling, psychology support services for Ukrainian who is suffering badly in the war over there at the moment. So if you want to, scan the QR code or go to My Pillar angelcare.org.ua projects. So to find out more and pledge your donation. Because David, our usual suspect and board member at Fishburner, have generously make donation and also make a bit of the silent auction.
Yeah, please, somebody else come and outbid me.
I am sure no one can outbid David's bid, as some of you might know him and his generosity. Thank you for coming to our...
I am resigned to actually winning some bids, right? Okay, I get it. Is my microphone actually on?
I think so. I think you are the two. I'm the one.
Oh, I'm the number two?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, it works. It works. We are live.
Okay.
So the whole purpose of Fishburner Live is bring the vibe that is not normally shown on our live stream to audience who is not here. I have been pestering you for more than 2 months to come to do one of our pilots.
Well, I'm usually in bed by this stage, so...
Come on, it's only 7:40.
All founders get up at 3 a.m., you know.
All right, yes. Do you get up at 3 a.m.?
Yeah. I do go back to bed, but...
Okay, still up at 3 a.m. before you go to bed.
Yeah, it's 4-ish. Yeah. This week, so cold.
Okay.
Yeah, this week, I think I made it to 7 today. Yeah.
What do you think about the pitch tonight?
Yeah, look, it was amazing. So what, did we have 6 or so?
7.
7, was it?
7,
yeah. It was just so inspiring to just see these people sort of really batting hard, still going for it, and just such dignity as well too. It was really amazing.
That's right.
Some great businesses in there. And a really interesting...
There's agency, there is a AI, there is one of the AI. He hasn't got slide. Yeah. We were panicking. What happened?
Yeah,
there is no slides. Yes.
He's a good founder. He just basically does it on stage.
Talk it through things.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And we have a restaurant management services group. Restaurant for purpose. I think so. Yes. Yeah. That was the group.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I probably my favourite was the toothbrush company. I think they were called EFA. Is that right? EFA.
IFO. Yes. Exactly.
FO. Right. Yeah. So basically a
recyclable materials toothbrush.
Yeah.
Rather than
that
plastic
cool. disposable. Yes.
That's
yes.
right.
So that's just their first product, but that was really really good. I'm going to go home and basically rip all the heads off my toothbrushes. Separate the plastics, even if we're using plastic. Separate the nylon from those things. So, but they're one step beyond. They're way beyond that. But it was inspiring to learn. So you always find new ways of learning how to actually be better in the environment, and that's in this environment in particular. There's always somebody that can actually teach you a new lesson. So that's great.
Exactly. Exactly. How are you lately? That was my transition to the next question. How are you lately?
What a smooth segue. That was incredible.
That's right.
Yeah, look, it's been very cold this week, but it's been fun to come in for this because it's nice and warm in here.
Yeah.
But as with startups, you've just got to do the work and keep getting up at 3 a.m. And
do you really get up to 3 a.m.? No, exactly. Because you keep saying that, I thought you're serious about it. But you do have a team over there in other city. Is that right? You do have
so we
US
have a mix.
team.
So we have a mix of no, we don't have anybody in the US at the moment.
Okay, so it's all Sydney based at the moment.
No, it's actually distributed in a bunch of different countries, but not in the US at the moment.
Yeah.
So I used to be located there at the start of COVID. I come back, and then you kind of go, well, actually, I really love being here, and that sort of thing. So, I mean, distributed teams is a whole new challenge, and there's a lot of startups out there that are doing interesting things around that.
Have you done any fireside chat on distributed team lately?
I haven't done anything like that. I think it's quite an interesting area.
There was actually one fireside chat. Was it with you? is it John O'Dean or someone was talking about remote team and how it should be managed, or how his experience of developing that when he was in the States.
Must have been memorable because I can't remember it. But I think it was on the Ukrainian company's video. I think GitLab on there as a
one of the team tonight.
Yeah. So if you look at GitLab's website, they actually have a whole bunch of stuff to do with remote teams. Like they were a remote first company, so they've got this massive document in regards to what it's like to build a business that's totally remote. So that's quite interesting. Particularly interesting in the contrast with Elon Musk saying all the executives have to come back to work, otherwise we assume...
It's not only executive, all office staff need to be working from the office 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Work from home are extra hours, or you find somewhere else. That's what he said. Yeah,
which I think is a luxury when you're kind of like one of the coolest companies in the world, but in a broad landscape of startups and things like that, you've got to kind of like compete for the talent, and we do have a global shortage of talent, so I think that's quite an interesting thing that not many companies can do. You know, because if you're actually really trying to create great conditions and you're really trying to manage by outcomes as opposed to showing up, which is kind of a bit of an old school sort of thing. It's interesting. Obviously,
it looks like that he is kind of under pressure a bit to make that kind of remark. Everyone heard of him that is an intensive person, but I don't know. If Elon wants to come to Fishburner Live to clarify what that remark is...
I'll do a fireside with him.
Exactly.
But sure.
David will do a fireside because he is indeed very good with doing fireside. Now, before we let you off move on to the third part of the conversation I want to have with you, we do have a Ukrainian founder here.
Yay! Tanya, come on
Would
up.
you like to join us? All right. You have...
Oh, I'm going to do the interview, Anna?
Why not? Go for it.
So I just met Tanya just a few minutes ago, and she told me a little bit about her personal story. So you've been in the country for how long? Those people over here.
I have been living a little bit more than months.
1 month, right?
Yeah.
And do you still have family at home?
Part of my family with me and my older daughter in France now because she wants to enroll to MIT. And it's because also I have a business and I need investigation because MIT is really expensive.
Right, yes, of course, yes. So you arrived a month ago, but before that you were running a startup?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your startup.
Actually I used to work before as a product manager on TV and launched a few TV programs and also 2 TV channels, one in Odessa and one in Kiev, Ukraine, live broadcast TV channels. So after I want to switch to IT and launched class online.com UA. It's like marketplace for studying in group for tutors and for parents who want to improve education for their kids because
teenage students or primary school students or
K-12 students.
Sorry, K-12.
K-12,
right. Okay. Yep.
So everyone could be find subject, I don't know, English, French, chemistry, mathematics as well. So we have a lot of tutors and we have 300 subscriptions each every month.
Right. So you were doing well. So
no, because we have biggest goal. We have some kind of idea. Just imagine that you are a tutor and you don't want to make all these difficult IT technologies and install a program and make everything
so you
like
want to make
this.
a simpler platform for these people.
But just imagine, like you make the gest and write something like numbers or words or arrow or everything, whatever you want, and your students see at the moment what you are drawing or what you are writing.
Got it, right.
Yeah. So it's a technology with computer vision, and we work with amazing...
serious technology.
Yeah,
So what's happened with the war? Have you had to put that on hold or
We are on pause.
pause? Right.
Yeah, but I suppose. But so we are relaunched, and then we will have relaunched by the end of the year.
Right. Okay. Well.
And I hope there are in Australia a lot of tutoring center also. So perhaps
So
yes.
maybe a translation
Yes,
to another
someone
country.
Perhaps
as a
someone who
platform.
have experience and
Okay.
education in Australia, also interesting in our technology.
So Tanya, how do people? So people are thinking that's exactly the platform that I need for Australia.
Yeah,
How would they contact you?
classonline.com.ua. You can just
Sorry, say it again. Class online.
classonline.com.ua, not AU but UA.
Okay. Yeah, the AUUA thing is going to be a bit tricky for us. All right. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll hand back to.
Before you move away, Tanya, I want to stand here and I hope let's squeeze into the camera. The whole purpose.
You want to squeeze me off?
No,
yeah.
of course. You are the interviewer. I just happens to be the MC,
Okay,
whatever
right.
facilitator. The whole purpose of doing this Fishburner Live is that to show Fishburner is here to help any startup. Welcome to Australia. And we hope this little clip out there and our social media out there would bring you more connection. And I hope that you, in your next half an hour or 45 minutes of networking here, will find more connection for you to tap into the right market here in Australia and help you settle down or build bigger
Yes.
business connection in Australia.
Welcome and good luck.
Yeah,
Welcome.
thank
Yes,
you.
that's right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Tanya.
Yep, Tanya. All right. Before we roll on, now that my next part of the question is actually
The mystery.
no, it's no. We know each other for 5 years now, so that's why there's no mystery. I have a brain snap or brain freeze. How about we go to the sponsor message first, and then we'll come back to the question.
All right.
Thank you for all the people that are watching online. I believe we have people from England, Israel, the US.
Okay, my name's Alex. I'm the founder of Trim.
First-hand dramatic impact of climate change.
We will send a read-only copy.
Please jump on here, send us.
Welcome back. So our next part of conversation with David, of course, is all about his investment experience and how he has generously supporting Australian startups. How many start made
From the start.
From the start.
Yeah. So
Until now.
yeah. So I think StartMate was 2011, 2012,
That's
and
right.
so.
And there are 2 or 3 cohort per year at some point.
Yeah, so it started out just being one cohort per year.
Yeah, that was
and then-
Sydney when they were only in Sydney.
Yes, and then it became summer and winter.
Yep, that's
so, yes, and so that continues on, and
Yeah.
so it's broadened out to be
Yeah.
Kiwi startups as well too,
Yeah.
and so on. So
Yeah.
it's been a great journey, and I've actually kind of found it a really rewarding
That's right.
way of investing with others because,
Yeah.
when you're going through the vetting process,
Yeah.
you've got 200 startups that get whittled down to, say, 30
right.
startups. But the decision-making process that happens has just got so many incredibly smart mentors
Exactly,
and people in
exactly.
the room that actually are asking
Exactly.
smart questions that are way smarter than I could come up with. So it's a very enriching experience to be in that space. I always love being the dumbest person in the room.
I was one of the company gone through a certain interview and got rejected.
Sorry, man. Sorry.
No, not you. You were the most supportive one in that particular stage. But thank you for that. That's why I do. That's one of the first time we start talking quite frequently.
I believed in your target customer base, right? Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
need to find a way to crack open that particular market segment.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
out of the StartMate journey, from an investor point of view, because I want to nurture two things in here in this conversation.
This is not a StartMate commercial, but
No,
yeah.
but I think they are doing the right thing. And it's amazing what they have done and all the financial number
They're
they
probably
keep talking about.
in
It makes a whole lot
Australia,
of
you'd,
sense.
you'd probably say that in Australia you've got like StartMate is right up there,
Yeah.
just below Fishburners, wouldn't you say?
No, we are equally good.
Oh, there you
but
go.
for a different focus, with different
Right.
set of KPI. They are doing so
That is-
well
that
with
is
their
right.
own set of KPI.
They're
We are doing
complementary,
okay
yeah.
with our own set of KPI.
Exactly.
Yes, that's right.
Well done, well
And
done.
we are not competing. But that's why I want to talk about it, because actually I think out there, in my opinion, there are two demographics could learn and observe from StartMate. One is, of course, from investor point of view. And tell the potential investor, professional, there are lots of accountant and lawyer out there with a bit of spare cash, want to think about investment. But obviously they know crypto is a zero-sum game. You can't do any day trading because you,
No comment,
you
no
bid
comment.
against a set of AI formula. And startup, early stage startup, pre-seed startup is high risk, but there is a way to make it happen.
Yeah, so I think, so as I was saying about the StartMate thing, if you're investing in StartMate, you end up investing in a very broad set of startups.
That's right.
So any one cohort, you've actually already spread your investment.
So you effectively part of a syndicate in some kind of a unit trust buying into a cohort. Is that right?
Yes. So in that particular situation, that's quite interesting. Plus, you've got that vetting aspect that it's a
That's
very,
right.
it's a very collaborative / combative
That's
process where quite often the actual best bubble to the top.
That's true.
And it's, I hesitate to say democratic, but it's actually a really good selection
I feel
process.
that it's very democratic. It's
So it's like I'm not saying democracy is the right way to go, because
but
quite often there
they
are smarter
open
people.
for a lot of smart people to have a
Yes.
genuine conversation.
You can have somebody that's actually in the selection group that actually knows that space that a startup is operating in way better than you could. And,
Yes.
and so you get that kind of like spread
Yeah.
intelligence, if you like. So it's
Yeah.
a distributed intelligence type thing. So I think that's a super powerful thing. So as somebody who's made money in property, or somebody who's made money in accounting or legal,
Yeah.
then sure, you can do the due diligence yourself, but you can also benefit from having a shared brain.
Yeah.
And and you'll just get insights that are much
Yeah.
greater. Plus, you'll make friends that are really,
That's right.
long lasting. So yeah,
Long-lasting friendship.
yeah.
Not saying better or anyway, but how would that be different? How StartMate is different from Sydney Angel, Melbourne Angel, or other city-based angel group? What do you think?
Yeah, I really can't comment because I don't know. I think
Okay.
I've been to a Sydney Angels thing once.
Yep.
And I think they have services to let you understand how to do due diligence properly and
That's
stuff
right.
like that.
They have a focus group to facilitate the due diligence.
Yeah.
Or the pre-screening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's much more sort of in StartMate. It's traditionally been a bit of a hotbed.
Yeah.
Very. In the old days, Nikki would say something along the lines about where with a shortened time window, you actually get a lot more done. Sounds counterintuitive, but in fact, people come in and they provide a lot of intensity in a very short window of time, and you can actually achieve superior results rather than too much navel gazing. So
Yeah.
you make decisions that are kind of like gut.
Yeah.
You've got a gut instinct. You dig into the data a little bit through the interview process, and you actually then make a bet that's a little bit more sort of educated based on the data that you've gathered in that process, without getting too deep. You're still writing checks in a very fast way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is about the investor side. Whoever professional out there or entrepreneurs out there with a little bit of cash ready to take some risks, how do they join? Do you know if they don't want to be a mentor, could they co-invest?
I don't know what the current policy is on that. So
but the policy does change or tuned a little bit.
It was really startup operator founders in the early days.
Okay.
So I'm not quite sure because I'm not affiliated with.
But there has been VC putting money in there too.
Could be. Yeah, you're more up to date on it than me. So.
No, I'm not up to date, but I remember that few years ago, that particular sitting around, I do remember you are ex-founder, you are founder yourself, but there are some VC in there that they are coming with a VC hat. So that's why.
Yeah.
Of course, some of them are founder too.
You know, I would just approach the team if it's not already listed on the website. There's probably mechanisms to capture leads and stuff like that. But yeah, so don't know about it.
We're talking about the big elephant too much now. So let's talk about for a early stage founder who potentially want to look for mentor investor like you. How do they get around and finding ways
you're
across
out of time.
Oh,
Time's up.
No, you do. So the Fishburners staff team just announced to us that they are going to announce the silent auction. But this doesn't interfere the system. So that they can continue out there in the bar and we can continue this one in here.
Yeah, there's only one problem with that.
Why?
I think I'm the top bidder on some things.
You need to go out there. In that case...
Well, I hope I'm outbid. But anyway,
the card is still there. So all right.
Can we stream bids?
I don't know. Well, find out. But
So your question is.
So for a founder's
from a founder perspective.
For a founder perspective, they are trying to find a way. Start May looks really intimidating.
Yeah, look, I think something like Founders Hub, like with Fishburners, is a good way of embedding yourself into a startup community, accessing resources, those sorts of things. That starts to build your network connection. If you're coming in, whether you're actually a full-time tenant here or day pass, you can come in and use some of the education sessions or some of the pitch nights to be able to actually, coming here and seeing pitches, you're going to actually strengthen your muscle around pitching. You saw that with Tanya before. So, those are the kind of the ways to actually sort of really build those connections, build the opportunities, build the serendipitous. When I lived in San Francisco, it's like, it's the creamery, it's standing in line at Blue Bottle, it's catching an Uber, an Uber share with some, I can't remember what they call it, Uber, anyway, whatever it was. Uber pool. Get in the game.
Yes.
And then ultimately that will lead to conversations like, I'll give you an introduction of Tanya to some other people, Juggle Street if you're there, Dave. So that's really how things work, isn't it? You create your own good luck, really. So
that's right.
So out of that, you can kind of like reach out to people who are investors. Quite often you get great mentoring from people who are looking for deal flow, and then there's other mentors around the ecosystem as well too. So, and Fishburners has a whole bunch of different entrepreneurs in residence that are generously giving their time in terms of sessions and stuff like that, whether it's growth, marketing, blah, blah, blah. So,
final two questions. Which of your portfolio company that you have invested in, you would like to bring it here to talk about them next time?
Do you mean for them to actually raise more money or to...
No, find customer.
Well, actually, I was thinking about...
Happy Cole.
Yeah, like these guys are a fair way along... Okay, so
keep talking. I'm just pointing at your logo.
Yeah, so Jindu was the CEO. He was a StartMate. StartMate guys. We
Is it a StartMate portfolio?
Yes. So
Happy Cole.
Yeah. So amazing pair of founders. Him and Macross, started just with an iPad application, and now I think what's it saying on the back? 10 years.
10 plus. Is that right? I see 10 plus in the pattern.
Yeah, so it's basically 10 years they've been going. They're doing 10 million ARR. So they're now in that kind of like bulletproof type sector. So I was thinking of having them on. I already spoke to Casey of Bug Crowd. He'd be. These guys are in the US, so they'd have to zoom in. But I think
do they have a team in here? Do they have a person in here?
No, I don't think. I don't think so. Yeah. But
we'll zoom them in.
I think they're a really interesting group to see of Aussies who've crossed the pond, who've actually made it into the really sort of high values type space, but are still very humble. So really good.
Fantastic. Okay, last question. What pitch would open your eyes if now one of the 40, 50 people out there drinking suddenly walk up to you, David, I got this problem I want to crack, and voila, what are the topics that you will think, oh, I'm happy to stay for another half an hour? What is the topic?
Probably something that's software that can be deployed anywhere. Right. Okay.
Hey,
so not
come on.
not
That's
local.
Too general.
No. Well, no. I'm only starting. I'm warming up
highly
here.
Scalable. Okay. Come on.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
SaaS highly scalable, sort of not limited to geographic type things. So.
Like an education platform.
Well, the education platform needs to be able to actually onboard each side of the marketplace. So two-sided markets are always challenging.
Yeah. So the onboarding is a challenge you anticipate.
Yeah, but there may be a playbook that they can take from one country and it still applies in another territory as well too. Right. So that's interesting. Right. So I would say that. So software-based is interesting. Yeah. In terms of, I still actually think there's a huge potential in terms of crypto. Sorry to, I apologize.
No. Crypto technology or cryptocurrency is a different thing. Is that right? Crypto.
Yeah, no.
You mean NFT
currencies
trading?
are just one implementation of blockchain.
I don't buy cryptocurrency. I don't buy token, or I don't believe they are genuinely adding value. But however, I strongly believe that blockchain technology to authenticate artwork, like the authenticate a small artist artwork as a digital contract and validation mechanism, that makes a whole lot of sense.
Right, okay. Yeah, so that's just one implementation
of that.
Of the implementation,
exactly.
Yeah, and was just talking to this guy over here before about fractionalization.
I will grab him into the in front of the camera soon.
You promised me this was the last question.
No.
I think the other things that I'm really interested in is obviously anywhere where it's B2B. So I don't have a good affinity myself with B2C plays. So Sydney, Australia, we have a pretty strong track record in terms of B2B. So I think that's an area that I'm kind of comfortable with. Yeah. So somebody pitches me on something yesterday that's very B2C, very millennial. As much as I'd like to wear a hoodie and kid myself, I might have some cred, but I don't. So that doesn't resonate with me as much if I don't have the contact with that sort of sector. So B2B is something that I kind of feel, being a crusty old guy, I have some affinity with. So
you are very disciplined. You haven't plugged your own current focus at all in the last 20 minutes. Right. Would you like to talk about that?
Hey, yeah. So I'm the co-founder of Contextual, and we're a low-code, no-code solution for anybody who's doing mobile or web applications, and what they want to do is improve their onboarding and deeper engagement of users. So there's the problem in terms of churn. 70% of people come in and churn out within day zero. Whether it's mobile, it's much higher in mobile than it is on web.
Because of UI usability, is that right? The churn?
Because quite often the application isn't self-explanatory and you're still trying to figure it out. So Silicon Valley startups, what they'll do is they'll have a team of PhDs and designers to actually optimize that first experience. But software's eating the world, and it's eating developer resources as well too, which means the product team and the growth team can actually use our tool in a no-code way without actually having to ask their developers to actually go and code up some special engagement and onboarding stuff. So we live in that space. So
very good.
Yeah.
And that is a lot of information. But don't worry,
not an elevator pitch. I failed the elevator pitch test.
Because no. I think I get it, but there's still a lot of details because you are in a very sophisticated space. That's what I meant.
So therefore, I blew it. Yeah.
We will have the link of David's business.
Contextual.
Contextual. Because I remember the old name. I don't want to say the old name now. I want to say Contextual is the new name of the business. And it is linked in the description below. So read the description, you will find David's link. And read the description, you will find Tanya's link as well. I'll capture her link into the description below. And let's go to the sponsor message, and we will have our second guest if he wants to join.
If you can get him.
Hello, everyone. I would like to welcome Glen Frost, the FinTech King in the startup ecosystem of Sydney.
Thank you very much, Jane. Thank you. Delighted to be here.
Yeah, would you like to introduce yourself quickly and what do you do and all that?
So, as Jane mentioned, I run the FinTech Awards, I run the FinTech Summit. It's been going for about 10 years. We are here to promote, celebrate and say thank you to all the Australian FinTech entrepreneurs.
Amazing. So when is the FinTech Awards happening?
Thank you. FinTech Awards submissions open 16th of June. FinTechAwards.net is the website. We've got 22 categories. And if you're an Australian FinTech or if you're working with an Australian FinTech, then these awards are for you. We've got categories from whether they're what you might call product categories, whether it's lending, wealth advice, innovation with AI, or whether it's specific categories like Best Female FinTech Entrepreneur or Startup of the Year. So we've got a variety of different categories for people to look over.
Awesome. And what can they win?
They win a trophy.
The trophy?
A trophy,
That's
yes,
great.
yeah. So I think that the big point I'd like to get across is that winning a trophy is recognition from your peers in the industry that you are the best.
Yep.
The best at innovation in your particular category, or that you contribute the most towards the fintech sector, whether you're like the best female leader in the fintech category. And I think that is really helpful when you are trying to raise money, when you are trying to recruit staff or motivate staff. So I go and visit a number of fintechs, and when I see the trophies in their office and they're proudly displayed behind the reception or in a trophy case, then I think that is the fintech saying to both their customers and their staff that they are innovative, that they put their best foot forward, that they care for the community and the ecosystem. So it's not just about doing well financially, it's also about being recognised as a great place to work, a diverse place to work, having great products where engineers and the team are rewarded for what they do.
Awesome. And from that on, I would like to ask, so do you have any media partners, like if they...
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
yes. So,
awesome.
Thank you.
What sort of PR do they get if they win?
So we have a partnership with Australian FinTech News, and that industry newsletter comes out every day, and that is an amazing publication for covering the fintech sector.
Amazing. Awesome. So when you said the application's open in 2 weeks?
Yes, in 2 weeks. So the 16th, the awards night is on the 25th of August. We usually have a VIP speaker who's a politician. Last year, for example, we had Senator Andrew Bragg, who's been instrumental in supporting the fintech sector. So again, I think if you come along to the awards night, whether you're a guest, a finalist or a winner, it's a great way to meet your peers. It's a great way to meet a senior politician who's been very supportive of the fintech sector.
So you haven't confirmed the speaker yet?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
Well, there's been a change of government, so
yeah, fair enough.
You know, I think that's also a factor as well this year. Wanted to just see which way, who won.
No worries. And where's the awards taking place?
Yeah, look, Sydney, we have a partnership with a tier 1 global law firm called Ashurst. They've been supporters here as well.
Yes, they have indeed.
Hi
Ashurst.
Yes,
love
if
you.
you're watching at Ashurst, it's great for your support. You support the startup community as well as the fintech community. And I think when you look back at some of the fintechs that were perhaps, say, the startup of the year 6 years ago, you know, that was people like Afterpay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have any like success stories from when they actually won the FinTech Awards and where they are now?
Well, you know, people like Afterpay 6 or 7 years ago were much smaller companies. They maybe weren't even listed on the stock exchange. So it's...
They weren't actually. Do you know, I have a funny story for you actually.
Yes.
I was at Fishburners, I've been at Fishburners for 5 years and 2 months. And I ran a speaker series with Nick Molnar.
Yes.
I think I was literally 2 months at Fishburners, so it would have been 5 years. And they ran the speaker series 1 week or something before they went public.
Yes.
So I was like, shit, why didn't I buy their shares? They were, I think, at 3 cents or something like that. Ridiculous, you know.
Yes.
But I didn't know enough about that field yet, so obviously I'm kicking myself now, but you know, it's crazy how far they've come from 5 years ago, and you would have seen that growth as well. You know, it just shows like what you can do with 5 years. Like someone that's like started from something from the garage. Well, he didn't start from his garage. I think it was his bedroom. But you know, building such an amazing company within 5 years, and is now like what, a millionaire? I don't know. So. Yeah, it's such a crazy story. So when when did they win the FinTech Awards?
Well, they won the. So we've got about 20 categories, but they would very often win either Startup of the Year or payments. We have a payments category, so being Afterpay, they would win that category. And then we actually created a separate category after we saw that companies like Afterpay were going global. So we have best global scale up, and that is to recognise Australian companies that are doing really well and scaling around the world. And that is what we want. We want companies that start at Fishburners or Stone and Chalk or Tankstream Labs with 2 or 3 people. They raise money, they expand around Australia, then they go Singapore, they go the UK, that is exactly what we want to see. And so we do see that through the FinTech Awards, and it's fantastic to see the progress of people who maybe have tried to win, or they become a finalist and then they win, and then, you know, they're IPO and you know, then they're a unicorn. So, you know, I think the FinTech Awards are there to celebrate that.
So have you had many people that have kind of applied a few years in a row and they weren't quite ready, but then they won a few years after?
Absolutely,
So should you apply again if you weren't lucky in these past few years, kind of
Never
thing?
give up.
Yeah, I agree. I think so too.
So never ever give up. It's anyone who's involved in the startup ecosystem or the tech ecosystem knows that it's hard work.
100%.
And sometimes the harder you work, the luckier you get. But sometimes it really is like every day you've got to think about, I'm climbing a mountain. So, you know, perseverance with the individual and the team. And it really is testament, I think, to the leadership capabilities of some people. They may not be the best technical person, they may not be the best economist or product person, but if you can be a leader, and if you can take your team from 2-3 people to 20 to 30 to 50, from one country to 2 to 10, then we should celebrate that, and that's what I think we try and do every single year, is that, you know, those companies, we have seen their submission forms when they talk about what they do, and we can see over the years how they've progressed and changed, and that is delightful. And we talk about that at the awards. You know, we share those details with people when we say, why has this company won? Right? So we absolutely celebrate those entrepreneurs.
Awesome. Well, I have one more question on that end. So what's the actual criteria? So
Sure.
And what sort of judges do you have? Do you have different kind of judges for each category? Let's say if someone's watching right now and wants to apply, like, what's the criteria?
Sure. I don't want to overcomplicate it, so you'll see on the website we list all the award names. And then there's just 1 or 2 sentences under each award as to what the judges are looking for. There's 3 judges per category, and one of them will be a subject matter expert from that niche within the industry, and then there'll be 2 other judges. And obviously it's better to have 3 in case there's a draw, there's a deciding judge. What was the other question you had? What's the criteria?
So what's the criteria? Like, so who should apply?
Are
they at the idea stage, or should they be more established? Like, what are you kind of looking for?
So I think sometimes with some categories, you really have to be in market. You really have to have some success that you can talk about.
Okay, so you have to already get some profits or have some customers.
No.
Not profits?
I mean, Afterpay never made any profits, so
you know, they still don't, I think.
Not bagging Afterpay, just as an example of a company that
but has customers, I suppose.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's a proven.
So if let's just say, take the example of Afterpay, you know, they could just go, we're in this, you know, 2 years ago we're in 3 countries, now we're in 10.
Yeah.
2 years ago we had 200,000 customers, now we have 800,000 customers. So you should very much be showcasing your success, whether that success is financial or non-financial metrics, right? So, downloads, users, all those sort of perhaps non-financial metrics. But I think the other thing is that, we are also looking in some of the categories for, how individuals have changed the industry, right? Have they introduced or been part of a wave of new product innovation? Like the buy now, pay later, that's been a whole new wave of innovation. So, we're looking to recognise that as well. The judges are in the room. We have the VIP speaker. There's no winners' speeches. Otherwise, we'd go on all night.
Too long. Yeah, you have 22 awards, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's a lot of awards.
That's a lot of awards. Yeah. So we announced the three. There's 3 finalists for each category, and then we have 1 winner.
And everyone's invited into.
As long as we can fit them. We had it here one year.
I know you did, here.
So right in this room.
Yeah, Glen is a big supporter of the Fishburners space.
Absolutely.
So.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah, sure.
Have you got some awards coming up?
We do, actually. I was going to mention it after I've been talking to. We have Tech for Good Awards coming up, actually, which Glen has been very generous to help us with.
Thank you.
Because you've had how many years of experience with awards now?
Well, I'd probably say about 10 years.
Wow,
10 years,
Jesus Christ. He's an awards expert. So Glen has been really, really generous. So Fishburners has been trying to focus a lot on the tech for good space, so sustainability, climate change, all that stuff, because the world needs it. So we decided to create our own Tech for Good Awards. That's happening 15th of September. You can find applications are open right now. So if there's any Tech for Good businesses, please apply on our website, fishburners.org, go under the Tech for Good Awards. And that's happening 15th of this September in this space where I'm at right now. And we've actually covered all of the sponsorship for all of our sponsors. So we have cash awards, actually. Every single award winner gets $5,000 cash.
Wow.
And the top winner gets 10 grand. So that's amazing. So we actually have cash prize and we have a trophy. So top that, Glen. I'm joking. No, but Glen has been, helping us with a lot of advice. So, Glen is
What categories within your Tech for Good?
So we have quite a few. So we have climate action, health and well-being, female founder Tech for Good award. You really put me on the spot now.
The lights.
It's a Friday night, bloody 8 o'clock, 8:30 p.m.
And who's your lead partner and sponsor?
So our lead partner is actually Investment New South Wales.
Excellent. Good to see state government supporting the technology sector. Well done.
Indeed.
Well done.
And then we have Amazon, we have AWS, believe it or not, they're different.
Yeah, for sure.
Amazon, AWS, Optus, we have another government one that just joined.
To be announced.
Yes, to be announced. I'm not sure what they want to name themselves. Optus, I did mention already. What else do we have? We have actually Clive, who's our chair, who very generously created a Fishburners Sustainability Award. So he's he's the sponsor for that. And Microsoft as well. And I'm really sorry if I forgot someone. It's 8:30 p.m. on a Friday evening.
And it's been a long week.
It has been a long week.
And, okay, seeing as I'm asking the questions now.
Yeah, you are. Wow. Roles have reversed. I will take a sip of wine.
Here's to the week. Thank you, Fishburners and Jane, for putting on an amazing evening. Why don't we talk about this? Have you talked about this evening? The Ukraine support?
Yeah.
So, what was this evening about then, Jane? Tell us what this evening was about.
As I mentioned, I'm sure some people that are watching right now don't know. Basically, we're on our pitch nights every 2 weeks. Normally, it's pretty straightforward. We have like 6 to 9 people pitching, and then we have some investors on the panel giving some feedback.
Yes.
But basically, we just ran a Ukraine fundraiser pitch night. Honestly, I've been here over 5 years, and we've never done anything like this.
Yes.
I thought we have built such an amazing, community of people coming to the pitch nights constantly, plus the partners and everything. And we had a Ukrainian lady come to us and, wanting to be a part of Fishburners community. We gave her a scholarship. She happened to be running an amazing charity, so we said, why don't we run a pitch night together? Which we did. And tonight was amazing. We had these Ukrainian amazing startups, tell us about their stories, how they've, gone through the war. And,
Well, they're still in the war.
They are. It's crazy.
It's tough.
To
really
be honest,
tough.
like listening to them tonight, it's just like they're so positive and they keep going, and it was just such an amazing night. I'll definitely spread the word over the social media. If anyone's watching, I will give you all of their links. But just such amazing volunteers and companies that are taking the time out of their lives to volunteer towards what's happening in Ukraine. And I don't know, it's just hard to fathom what they're going through, because we're here literally having a drink, having a lovely drink, and not having a worry in the world. And they can hear bombs going off next to them, and losing their loved ones, and it's just terrible. And I think it's time that the world comes together, and if Fishburners can help a little bit, then that's amazing. We made just over $7,000 tonight, just on the ticket sales, and I think the silent auction as well has made some money.
Yes.
And also, we will spread the word, and I think Google actually was happy to do an event with that charity too. So it's all about the connections and spreading the word, and then everyone comes together and helps each other, because at the end of the day, we're all in the one world. If in one country goes through hardship, we all have to come together and help. So.
Well, thank you, Jane, and Fishburners, the great team at Fishburners here that all chip in to make this event a success.
Well, thank you very much, Glenn. Can you repeat the website again for your FinTech Awards so everyone can?
FinTechAwards.net, or just Google FinTech Awards. It's the top result. We've been going 9 years now, so we're very excited to support the fintech sector. Love the fintech sector. Thank you very much for your time.
It's booming right now in Sydney.
Fintech is the top.
Fintech for the win.
It's the top sector in finance, in tech.
It is indeed. Thank you everyone for watching. Please go to fishburners.org if you want to learn more about Fishburners. Thank you, man.
Thank you, man.
Come on, man. Our AV guy, he looks after everything.
All right, so thank you, Glenn, be on the screen.
Thank you.
All the link that they just mentioned, FinTech Award and Tech for Good Award, are in the link in the description below. So follow the link. See you next time.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you for all the people that are watching online. I believe we have people from England, Israel, the US.
Okay, my name is Alex. I'm the founder of Print.
First-hand dramatic impact of climate change.
We will send a read-only copy.
Please jump on here, send us